Hi, buddy. I
Hi.
am Miss Princess Casserole, and I am here with my very dear friend, Tanya, my jewelry addiction. Um,
Hello.
we'll make sure to post her channel too if you guys haven't checked her out. I don't know what's wrong with you if you haven't checked her out. She has the most amazing things.
Well, thank you, Carla.
You're
Well,
welcome.
I'm not live here. I gotta back out and get back in here because I'm not in here yet. Okay,
Uh-oh.
there.
Hello, everybody. We have Gina and Shane and Pandora and Patty Cake.
Jane. Hello, Jane.
And Deb.
And Deb.
So
Hi.
Tanya and I, we were chatting, and I think we have a lot in common. And I think also Tanya has a really interesting take on different things too. So I wanted to have a conversation with her and with you guys too, so you guys can all kind of chime in as well. I apologize for being late.
Hi, Lori.
Tanya thought it
Oh,
was hilarious why I'm late.
yeah. Let's talk about that, Carla. Why is Carla late?
So Carla went to a yard sale before.
This evening? It was a nighttime one or what?
We do sometimes have nighttime sales around
Really?
here.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Some of the
Yeah.
block sales, they'll start at like 4 or 5 or 6.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, which, you know,
That's
I
cool.
I
Yeah.
work during the day, so it's really hard for me. I get really sad, and this was something else we were talking about before too. So my name is Princess Casserole, and I am a jewelry addict.
And my name is Tanya, and I'm also addicted to jewelry. Hence the channel name, My Jewelry Addiction.
It is not a misnomer for me. I know that for sure. So normally I have to work during the day. I have a normal 9 to 5 job, and I get incredible anxiety and FOMO on Fridays because I can't go out.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, fear of missing out.
Yeah, I have that same thing, Carla. It's on a daily. When I get up, I have that like, should I stay or should I go? It's like I have enough. Like the last few sales I've had, I've never gotten through everything that I'd pulled for the sale 3 weeks ago. And I never got through the stuff from 2 weeks ago. And yet I went and bought a whole bunch more. So it's like keeps piling up.
Yep.
But if I don't get it, my competitor's going to get it, right?
See, and that's the hard part too. Do you ever feel FOMO with like your friends or anything if you have people that are like live near you and somebody that goes to a yard sale or a thrift store that you normally go to find something really good? Does it give you like a tinge?
Well, yeah, like yesterday it was 104 degrees here in Central California, and it was 3 p.m. and I found out my little honey hole had put jewelry out, and I've been waiting for it. And I was like, man, do I go? It was already, it's 104. And I was like, screw it. I had taken a nap yesterday, and I was like, I just jumped in a cold shower real quick. And, my car has AC, but it's 20 miles away. And I drove, and I'm glad I went. I got a nice little haul there, but it's the battle. And then I was mad because I didn't get there soon enough. Someone else had bought a bunch of bags. There was only 7 left. And I took 5 of them. And so I'm thinking, what was in the other ones, And I shouldn't beat myself up like that. But
I do that too.
it's
Or someone's
ridiculous.
checking out in front of you and you see that they have like a whole
Yes.
it's like
And you're
what
like, oh my gosh, what did they get? Can I see what you got? Can I buy it off of you?
yeah, it's it so that's where I've been like trying to figure out how to stop that because it's not a great feeling.
It's really not. It's really not. And so in our conversation the other day, I look at it like this. uh, every weekend these stores are getting replenished. Every weekend there's more and more yard sales. It's like it's always going to be there. So the fear of missing out part is a struggle, but when you got enough, you could probably take a break for a week or two. And I've done it. But then all I'm doing is asking some of my dealers to bring me stuff, or can I come over and go through your stuff? Then I don't have to go dig for it out in the wild. It's like, it's just there. So
Or I'm
I,
online, right? Like, if I don't get to go out, then I'm like Poshmark or Mercari or something like that looking for stuff. And it's just kind of never ending.
yeah.
But the one thing that I tell myself too is, so tonight I went because a lot of times if I know a sale, like a block sale has been on for like it started yesterday and I'm on it today, like you just think, oh, I'm never going to find anything, you know?
Not true.
I have found, so the one day I found this this ball necklace, and I didn't realize until I got in the car, but it was 14 karat gold. It was like that there's a name for it. It's on QVC or whatever, the elegance gold or whatever. And it was like a couple $100 necklace that I paid like $1 for. And it was on the second or third. I think it might have been the third day
Yeah. Yeah.
garage sale.
I've found it before after my other competitors have been, it's like they don't find everything. And they don't know everything. Like my friend Pat, he's an older gentleman. He knows the old stuff, but he doesn't know any of the new stuff. So he would probably pass a lot of things up uh, that I would catch, because I've been watching and learning. I've been watching you. I've been watching Thelma. I've been watching Anita and uh, Lucia, and for like 4 years now. And so I was watching and learning, and yeah, the first time I had a yard sale, gosh, it's hot here. I'm right above my nose is sweating. Um, but yeah, the first time I had a yard sale, I had gone to a yard sale and this lady had a whole table of jewelry, and I must have picked up everything, every single piece. And I'm looking at it and she goes, "Do you want to buy the whole lot?" And I was like, "Really? How much?" She said like $30. And I said, "Absolutely." And I took it all. And the following week, where my mom lived, she had a block sale. And I was like, "I'm going to come over and set up a table." And I made like $400 in just a couple of hours. And it was like, and I still had a ton of jewelry left. And it's like, bingo, the lights went off. It was like, this is, jewelry is an investment. It's not really, that's how I look at it anyways. Like, let's just, for example, Carla, this piece here, this may have been around, let's just say this has been around 100 years. How many times has this crossed hands over those hundreds of years, right? Or 100 years? How many times has this been donated to a thrift store and sold, and then someone wore it and adored it and then sold it or gave it away, and it's been sold over and over and over again? You know what I mean? And it gets scarcer and scarcer. And I think the value on a lot of these items is just going to increasingly go up, because it is so sought after now. After COVID, I think, everyone had a lot of time on their hands watching a lot of YouTube stuff, I think. And it was like mind expanding, like the value behind things, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So I kind of had gotten into this because I was watching other people too, and that was back. So it's interesting because YouTube in the jewelry community has kind of grown, right? So like basically it started off, we all did jewelry jars, right? Like that's kind of what it was. And there wasn't that many of us, and we all did the jewelry jars and the jewelry. Then it
Yeah.
was jewelry bags because they started putting them in bags instead of jars. And then it was, now it's kind of been hauls. And because most of us, I started off as a collector. right? Like I didn't start off selling. I really like jewelry. And then like you guys can see, like I have so much of it. So then it was like, okay, well, I'll try out reselling and try out the auctions, which is really fun. You know, I personally don't do it like to get rich or anything like that. I have so much stuff that I've collected over all of these years. And you know, it's nice to share it and connect with people because even like with the auctions, what's really nice, and a lot of you guys are in the chat here talking to us, is that you get to make a connection with people and you know what they like, and it's almost like you can be a personal shopper too for people, which is kind of fun.
Hey, yeah, it is. It's like it's a whole different world. It's like it's a lot of fun. I've not had this much fun um, in a very long time, and it for me, I did it more out of I had been buying shipping boxes and I'd been buying all this stuff for the last few years, right? And all this jewelry. I just started hoarding it, you know, and with the intention of it's like, I know one day I'm going to sell this. I thought I was going to do like an eBay thing or whatever. And then I saw Makeup Zombie doing an auction. I'd seen that Jewelry Nurse and them, did auctions too.
Yeah, they have a
And
lot of endurance. I don't have that kind of
yeah, I can't, you know, I don't have 7 hours to sit and watch that, but I found Makeup Zombie on a Sunday morning, I think, once, and it was a couple of hours, and I watched it live as she was doing it. I never jumped in on my phone, but then I did one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is fun. This is cool. You know, I'm like, I could probably do this if I could just get in front of the camera, which is like, hello camera. I mean, I'm just looking at the camera. There's nobody else there. It's like, and it was pretty easy to just try to jump on board. And
It
it's
is
so much
it is
fun.
tiring. Like, do you find I am done after like
Yeah.
after it. So and that's why when don't take that in the wrong way when I said that about Cindy and her group who are all
Oh
wonderful
no.
and I love and you know they're friends of mine and
Yeah.
all of that. I literally mean that they have a lot
I
of endurance.
yeah. I mean, I did it when I first came on. I did an actual like 6 or 7 hour one, but I think I started early in the morning, you know. It was like my battery was fully charged and it didn't feel like I was drained, but you know, yeah, after 2 hours I start getting a little, but you know, yeah.
So do
And
you
yeah,
keep or collect anything?
yeah, I do. I really like I've got some really old ivory like Chinese carved beads and what are they? Accoutrement or what's
Yeah,
that word?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know
Yeah,
how to say it.
yeah, I have a couple of those.
Like, that kind of thing?
I'm really into the Asian art. It's just enthralled me since I was a kid. Something about it. I just fascinated with all the fine detail and the intricate carving and um yeah, so that's one thing I do collect. Well, you know, I probably hoard quite a bit more too. A lot of vintage stuff, you know, designer stuff that's I've got a whole bunch of jewelry boxes back here and they're just kind of all crammed full that you know, I think I've shown this stuff before, but it's hard to
Yeah,
let go of some of that.
yeah, that's why I'm curious because I know we've talked about it too, where you're so good about realizing because really stuff that you fall in love can really have a power over you too.
It really can. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we had talked because Tanya and I we had talked on the phone a little while like last weekend and had a really good conversation and that's why we were kind of like hey let's get people in on this and have this conversation in front of everybody because I know and Tanya knew too that all of you guys, or at least some of you guys, can also relate to some of the things that we're saying, even if you don't have a channel. Um, you're obviously jewelry lovers too, and some of you resell at antique places or just, collect like I do too.
Yeah.
You were saying like that you sell things sometimes when they get you like them too much.
Yeah. Well, for an example, I had used, I have one of my really tall jewelry chests back there. It was full of jewelry that my husband had bought me. And I was married to him for about 10 years. I think we were together maybe 12, something like that. And every time after he left, every time I put on jewelry, and I love jewelry, it's like, I guess I had a weird connection to him somehow to that. And
Mm.
I felt like I stayed in a state of depression afterwards. And it's like, I realized after listening to this guru that, it's like, oh my gosh, I have an emotional connection to this thing. And it's like, I just need to let it go. It's just stuff. It's replaceable. It's beautiful, but it's just stuff. And I sold it all in one clean swoop. And from then on, it's like I buy jewelry to enjoy for myself. Like if I'm buying from another reseller on here, it's for me. It's for my personal collection,
Yeah,
which
something
will
that
then,
strikes you as something that you'll wear.
yes, and that'll allow me to let go of something else that I have in my collection that I don't wear, right? That someone else would and enjoy.
Yep.
So I'm kind of, it's kind of like this whole recycling thing, you know. I have to let go. I can't keep it all. Good Lord knows I can't keep it all, and I can't wear it all. I got too much. I'm
I
sure
need
you do,
I need more
Carla.
necks. I feel
What's
like
that?
I need more necks and more arms. I need more piercings that I can actually do. And I've been talking about that for a while, but I haven't done it yet. But
Oh, that's funny.
so when people
Oh,
see me too, which is funny, so they'll see me out and they're like, "You're not wearing any jewelry." When I'm going to like the estate sales or I'm going to the yard sale, like I just leave the house. I don't really have a lot of jewelry on.
I always wear one piece, and I had it on earlier. I took it off. I always wear this round jade thing. I just feel like it's going to bring me luck. That and my little Wonder Woman cuff. I'm like, I can't leave the house without them if I'm going thrifting, because it's like, these are going to bring me good luck.
That's a
And tell me, Carla, is part of your addiction to this because you have found treasure and it's a constant wanting to find, chasing that same high again? Is that what it is? Like you found that one thing, it's like, oh, it's worth $5,000,
I've
you
never
know?
found anything worth $5,000, but
No?
I've found things. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, you probably have. Yeah.
um, but yeah, like find I've gotten things. Sometimes I will take a chance, right? So I will buy something that maybe is not really clear. The
Yep.
the so like on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, something like that. I will buy something that to me looks like it could possibly be gold or
Right.
silver, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Um, and so like it's kind of the cost of doing business, right? Because sometimes you get it and it's nothing. But it's just
Sometimes yeah, it's like in the wash, because sometimes you win, sometimes you
yeah,
lose. So it's like it's a wash.
sometimes it's like, okay, this is a, diamond tennis bracelet.
Yeah.
So like, it's a little bit of both. But yeah, it's definitely because you get good stuff sometimes. And it is like it's gambling pretty much, except for you actually have something. So instead of
Yeah.
having a whole bunch of losing lottery tickets, you have stuff.
Lottery tickets. Yeah. I actually picked these up like last week and I just haven't scratched them yet. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather gamble on a nice jewelry jar, because you're probably going to end up better in the long run, you know. The odds are in
But
your
the other
favor,
thing
I think.
is sometimes, so like when you sell craft lots and you have jewelry that's like paparazzi and things like that, then you're almost also burdened by the non-great things that you find in there because you end up overwhelmed by that too.
Right.
And what do
Yeah.
you do with it, right? Like, I'm not going to throw it in the garbage.
I have a buyer for that. I will fill up a whole tub and then they buy the whole thing and then they fill up jars and sell it out at the swap meet. So I just kind of,
Like that.
yeah, I just kind of recycle that stuff out.
Because it's hard for me to do that because I work. And so the only time I have is on the weekend.
Yeah.
So if I have to do a yard sale or I have to do a flea market, then it's like I don't have a weekend and then I just have to start work again.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you talk to the other dealers like when you're at the estate sales? Because that's kind of how I got these connections. I guess I'm pretty talkative and I'm like, because I'm curious. I was curious, like, you're buying a bag of jewelry. I know you're looking for gold. What are you going to do with the rest of the stuff that I might want to craft with or, whatever.
Sometimes, but some of them are not very nice.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of them like that.
Most of them are not very nice. And a lot
Yeah.
of them can be shady as well.
Right.
So they'll like try to get information out of you, you know what I mean, without giving
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't, because I kind of like to keep to myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm friends with a lot of people in the jewelry community too, but I also kind of keep to myself a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I people don't believe me when I say this, but I'm pretty shy. So,
I've
believe it or
never had that problem.
not, I can be very shy and very reserved sometimes, even though I'm very outgoing of a person.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
Sue's got a good question. Is my addiction causing financial problems? We can
Good
both
question.
answer this. Um, why don't you go first, Tanya?
Well, Sue, my addiction is actually causing me a financial plus. So, I'm actually living off of jewelry right now. It is my full-time job, and I'm doing very well financially. I have no complaints at all. My only complaint is I wish sometimes that, and I've talked to my sponsor about this. Miss Gina is my jewelry sponsor. And I was hers, or no, Molly's hers, I guess. But yeah, we both have a hard time with not spending. You know, I'm not trying to get rich. I'm living a very comfortable life right now. And I have no worries. I have no financial worries. And if I wanted to buckle down a little bit, I probably could get rich off of jewelry. But that's not my goal. So for me, jewelry is not causing me any financial hardship at the moment. How about you, Carla?
So I trying to think of. I feel like I'm in an interview. It's not a plus. So like I watch my bank account, right? And I know how much money I have in there.
Yeah,
Um, and I would say my bank account isn't growing, but it's not dipping.
yeah.
So for the most part, when I do, because I resell on other platforms as well,
Oh,
and
cool.
I do auctions. And also, one of the other ways is if I have a single earring or I have a broken gold bracelet, like
Yeah,
I will also scrap things. And
right.
I've, made some decent money from that too, because
Yeah.
sometimes people don't realize something's gold and or silver, and some of those prices have gone up. So, um,
Yeah.
Not not really. Right now it's kind of like neutral. So I sell and scrap and things to make up for what I'm buying to collect. So for me,
Yes.
because it's not my job, it's kind of, like a neutral. I'm like, and most of what I find and what I buy uh, are worth more than what I pay for it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if I needed to, so that's the thing too, right? Like if I needed to make quick money, I could.
Yeah. You got your little pile of, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause it's fungible, right? Like
Right.
if I really needed money today, and I was really hard for it, I could scrap
Yeah.
something.
Sure.
And gold and silver are always gonna be worth money, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. And I think it's going to go up too.
I think so as well.
And like I told Carla, in the event that the dollar will crash and it's not worth anything anymore, I'm pretty confident that, I could trade this for some food if I needed to, um, or someone might need this in their life. They were like, I have to have that. And I'm like, yeah, I need that Starbucks. Okay. Can I get some of that? I don't know. That's my crazy way of thinking.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it does make me happy too. Like,
yeah,
going through I have a little Victorian collection. Like going through my things, it does make me happy.
exactly. And I think that's part of this, like this here. I used to have fabric flowers on here. And I had made the flowers, out of all these different fabrics. It was all blacks and grays, and it was really pretty. I had done it for this art studio that I was at. We had a black and white thing in October or November. Um, and that was an art piece that I did. And I was like, one day I was like, oh my gosh, if I put my flower brooches on there, I could look at them and enjoy them. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Instead of
it's
having them in
beautiful.
a
I love
box
it.
somewhere. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful. Will I wear it? Probably not. I don't normally wear brooches unless it's going to be on a coat and it's 104 out. So, or I will
Those
wear them in
simple
hats.
brooches do make me happy though, because they're
Right?
so
Yes.
colorful
Yes.
and bright, and just, it makes me happy. And also, Sue, don't worry, um, you know, I I wouldn't have answered that question if I didn't want to. So it's
Oh,
fine. And
you
it's
know,
not the first time I've gotten it, so that's why I wanted to, talk about it too.
my for whatever reason, my chat's not keeping up. I keep having to go back and come back in. Oh, there we go.
Mike says you
Oh,
guys aren't talking me out of any of my antique anything.
Oh, so that's one thing that Carla wanted me to do because Carla has a really hard time. She had told me she has a very hard time letting go of things. So I'm challenging Carla to pick out 3 items out of her very special collection that she will bring to auction on her next auction, right?
Yes, and we had talked about this. So one of them, like this was destined for my collection. So I picked one already. I have this.
Oh, what is that? That's gorgeous. Wow.
It's a Miriam Haskell.
Oh my goodness. That's Egyptian? Yeah, I mean I'm having a hard
In the
time saying
Bible.
that's King Tut. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
So cool, right? So this was something I was gonna keep. Um, but you know what? Like I don't actually like I don't need to start another collection. So if I had
Yeah.
it, it would be something else that I'd be like, oh well, I need earrings to go with this. I need a bracelet to go with this. I need, whatever. And I don't really have a lot of that. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's something that I can have.
Wow, that's a pretty stunning piece to pull out right off the gate. I mean, I'm impressed. I
I need
can't wait for next Wednesday.
I need to also one day I'm gonna show you guys, hopefully soon, my bangle bracelet collection too. So I'm gonna have to downsize that a little bit.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
like all these Bakelite bangles, I love them, and I never do wear them.
Yeah, that's a thing too. I had a whole I don't know if you saw it. I had shown it once before. I actually took it out of my room now, but it was a shotgun rack. And I had, you know how they're a little off angle, so the shotgun sits in there right. I cut them down right, so it had bars that went straight across, and I had all of my bracelets on there, hundreds of them. That not my bracelets for me, not it, but bracelets that I had been collecting, and never gonna wear them. I just took it down and got it out. Yeah, it's like if I'm not gonna wear it, it's got to go, right?
I know a lot of people have some really good things that have like rules that have that they go by that help them make sure that they're like not just completely always bringing things in, but also bringing things out.
Yeah. Yes. I talk to my daughter about that a lot because she's constantly buying new trinkets and things. And it's like, you got to let go of some of the other stuff. Otherwise, it gets like, then you end up with the hoard.
Yeah, so one of the ladies said we just bought a house and my husband suggested that I turn an entire room into a dressing room with spots for all of my jewelry. It's great, no guilt. I never sell, I wear it all and keep it all. So the one thing to remember is also, I started out with the jewelry jars. So
What?
I started out with jewelry jars. So the
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing with jewelry jars is it's really nice because you can find something really nice in there. But the other thing is you might find stuff that you like. You don't maybe love it, but it's still hard to get rid of it and you keep it. So I have a lot of that stuff too. Do you know what I
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you're a crafter though too, Carla. So I've seen your creations and um it's really I think your crafting is incredible. I mean, so I look at a lot of that back stock that I have like that as my crafting supplies.
Well, and yeah, I only do that with either newer stuff because I don't care. Like when people, this newer stuff that is not well made. So not
Yeah,
things like, Alexis Bitar is somewhat newer and older. He's a little bit of both, but I'm not gonna do that with a Heidi Daws or something like that.
right.
But a
But
paparazzi
what if it's broken?
that, yeah. So then I will do, or
You will craft it.
put something together. Kind of, I've done things like where you have you know not a bangle, like a brass thing, and you put stuff on it.
You,
As a
oh, you can next. Yeah,
sometimes, yeah, or like a necklace. I've done stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I will try to, or you can even put jump rings in it too, like if it's like that filigree thing that you had held up, the blue one with the rhinestones. If the back breaks off, you can put like little jump rings on either
oh
side.
yeah, and turn it into a necklace. Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, there's things that you can do, and I always try to do the least amount of harm, if that makes any sense, to the
yeah.
pieces. So, and also Mike says that he's going to give me a wedgie if I sell the one bracelet that he sold me. He sold one to me and one to Sally, and I would not because I really like it. It was a nice carved bakelite um, bangle bracelet. So, um, Charlotte says she likes to speculate about the women who own the pieces before me. You can often learn a lot if you see a whole collection or repairs. It's a way of honoring our foremothers. And I 100% agree. And, some people think it's sad, and I would like your take on this. Some people think it's sad when you go to an estate sale, but I think it's actually the exact opposite. because if I love something, I want somebody else to buy it because they want it and
Yeah.
wear it and appreciate it and love it and take care of it the way that I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Karen was asking if my daughter um, collects and loves it. Yeah, she comes now. Like if I see something that I think she'll like, or sometimes she'll just come in my room and be like, "Ooh, I like that," and she'll put it on. And like she went somewhere the other night. She had like 3 rings on. Uh, yeah, and a necklace, and I was like, "Dang, look at you!" You know. But she's learning to love it, and she's learning the value behind everything, which is a good thing because this is, besides my house, and like I don't know if she'll get my pension and my social security and all that, but besides my house, she has my jewelry to contend with when I'm gone. This is what she's inheriting. And she is learning, and I'm trying to teach her what it's worth because, quite honestly, she'll be set for a while if she does the right thing with it. Even if she just has one major estate sale, you know what I mean, and has someone do it right for her. It could be, yeah, this is what I'm leaving her. So yeah, my daughter is really trying, Karen, to learn, but not collect. She collects Disney like Funko Pops and stuff like that. Yeah.
My daughter does not. She does not like jewelry.
No?
No.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
every once in a while she will, but like the jewelry that she likes, it's very minimal and very simplistic, and she doesn't like a lot of the stuff that I like. But I know her style now, so she likes rose gold, which a lot of people don't like for some reason, because they think they're just buying the copper, but it's still the same amount of gold if you get 14 karat gold, rose gold, as it is in the yellow or white gold. So I don't get that. Like I know the copper is the other element in there that makes it rose, but
Yeah.
it's
I think
also
it's
still
great.
gold.
It's great. So what are your Carla, what are your goals with your jewelry hoarding? What's the
To
end
clean
result
off.
for Carla?
The biggest one right now is just to clean off my darn table again.
Yeah.
I had cleaned it off, and there's some clothes on there too, so it's bad with the clothes sometimes as well.
How do you clean it? Because you know what I do? I go like this. I get an empty tote and then I go whoosh.
Oh, good God, that would give me so much anxiety. So this is
Really?
the weird thing about me. It makes no sense, and I know that. So I have, this pile of jewelry on my table, but I know it's there. I know it's on this huge, unorganized seeming pile on my table. If I did that, it wouldn't be organized anymore. And then I've also wasted that effort to get it off the table without actually like organizing it in any way. And I know it's silly, right? Like I could have totally just done that and put it in a pile somewhere, but um if I do things, I like to do them right. So,
Yeah.
and
Sorry.
that's my problem because I just a lot of times don't have the energy to do that either.
Yeah. When I first started doing this, it was jewelry jars, and I had like behind my desk, I had like 10 jars, different categories, and I'd put everything in the jars in categories. And then when the jar was full, I'd put everything individually into a sleeve. Well, it just depends on what it was. I guess I'd put it into a little sealed thing, and I'd even write, vintage Monet, with even a price that I thought of at that time. This was like 3 years ago. But then it started like, I heard about ThreadUp and Goodwill blue boxes, and then it started coming in like, 3 boxes at a time, and I'm like, and I'm buying, jars and jars, and I have spent I have before being so addicted to that whole trying to find treasure. I have spent say I had $100 in my and it, my fun money, that's it for the week. Like I can't, and I've spent it before, or not even fun money sometimes, like just real money, and I have spent it, just on a gamble. But knowing good and well, if I needed to, yeah, like you said, I could always sell this little thing right here for, whatever.
I needed to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could totally do it. And I will, like, it's so funny because sometimes you watch people, and it's like it seems like everyone's getting like diamond rings for $1 all the time, something, like it can feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not true. Like, so this necklace, I do consignment, and if you get the money in like buying something, you get like 10% more or something, 10 or 20% more than you do in a check, something like that. I don't remember if it's 10 or if it's 20. So I bought that with like, I just kept using the money that I had from consignment to buy jewelry from there, so it's like,
Oh, so it's
oh,
like
it's
a,
free money. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and then you get to enjoy it for a little bit. And if you needed to, you could consign it right back again, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only things I ever consign normally are things I don't care about. So,
Yeah.
um, some of which was, so I used to have a really big thing with vintage clothing, and a lot of the stuff that I consign is vintage clothing because
Oh, nice.
I don't want to sell clothing because you have to measure it. Like, I don't know how to take pictures. Like, I'm just like, you guys take it, even though like I know I can make more money on Etsy or whatever, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Jewelry, it's like at least like you can package it smallly. Like it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah. Well, like I used to flip furniture. I'd pick up a dresser and repaint it, refurbish it, whatever, new hardware, and boom, I'd sell it, pop it up on, I usually used Craigslist. This was, years ago. I started doing that maybe 15 years ago. Uh, Dining room tables and chairs and upholstery, that kind of thing. I always did furniture, but I've got osteoarthritis now, and it's
Mm.
heavy, and it takes up a lot of space in in your own personal space in my backyard. And um, yeah, this is tiny, it's like, and it holds just as much value as that big thing. And it was just no brainer. I must do
And you
jewelry.
enjoy it too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like it's
Yeah.
another plus, but it's also
Yeah.
another like I wear like some people who don't like jewelry, so easy, so much easier to like be a reseller.
Yeah.
Really like it, but the thing is too, like I feel like sometimes when you really like it too, it's kind of contagious, and people know that, and people know that you're
Yeah.
being genuine, and they know you know what you're talking about when you're selling it too,
Yeah.
and that you're not
Yeah.
just selling them, junk, that you know what I mean, like that you
Yeah.
actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What are we talking about?
I never know what I'm talking about, girl. I
So
know you're not talking about me.
the other thing that has come up too is because I did that video about um
Can't tell what my hair is
kind of
on.
sharing my story about hoarding and how it came to it, um, and all of that stuff. So it is something that I've shared, and every once in a while I'll get comments where people are like, you know, you said that and you're still bringing stuff in. And I think your friends, your real friends, tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. So I do appreciate when people will check me or call me out sometimes, but in a nice way, like that,
Yeah.
which people have, they've said, you deserve better, like just
But
calling.
but the thing is with that, I've watched those hoarding programs, and if it doesn't, if it doesn't serve you any purpose and it doesn't bring you joy and pleasure, and it's not going to, interfere with your life. And I get where you're saying it could interfere when it starts taking over, like your desk is being taken over right now. It just needs to be put away, right? I'm running out of spaces to put things away. Like, I have no more empty space to put things away. It's piling up right over there on top of um, my cedar chest thing that's already full of jewelry. And in my art room, there's totes and totes, and it's piling up. So I really need to sit down and get organized, go through those, and it's not all going to serve me purpose. So I know that I can get rid of a lot of that. I just need to go through it and pick out the better things, I guess, right? And then the rest of it, I'll ask my friend Kim, and I'll trade her. I'll trade her for some better stuff. I might end up with just a tray of fabulous jewelry, and she can have all the stuff that's mediocre. Uh,
And that's not to say too, like obviously we do auctions and we resell. So, you know, it's not like it's like everything, right? Moderation, or like at least like a medium amount. I don't have a medium amount. um, so it's just getting that balance, right? Like where is finding that balance of having a great collection, but also, you know, it's just a hard balance, I think. You know
it
what I
really
mean?
is. Your basement's full, Sally? I bet it is. I've been watching you too. All those bags from that little antique mall thing that you got going on there.
I think what's really fun too is we all like something. All the people that I'm friends with that have channels, we all like totally different things.
Yeah, everyone has their own little um like niche, I guess, and or
Like
I
there are
don't.
a couple things that like, so Sally and Angie and I, like I said, we'll share things. And we pretty much know what each other likes now, and they're not the same. So I
No.
think that's also really cool, and that's what shows you too that like, you know, that's why I try to treat all of my jewelry with respect for the most part. The only things I don't is, like I said, the paparazzi stuff that's like made to only last for a couple times of going out. Like that makes me sad because it's kind of like an environmental hazard, like fast fashion, fast
Yeah.
jewelry. I don't like that. That's
Yeah.
also why I like vintage jewelry because like look at those things behind you. They were made like 70 years ago and look how beautiful they still look.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I watched something here recently. There's a lot of this new, like really super cheap paparazzi type jewelry that's coming out it's actually really lead based, and it's like making people sick.
Mhm.
It's literally making people sick because of, I don't know. I mean, I know I can't wear certain things. It like I had piercings. My body rejects stuff if it's not right. It's like, no, what are you doing? It's like it's got to be. Yeah, you got to be really careful with jewelry. And they made, I mean, everything. Come on, back in the day, look at these sewing machines. How everything was like cast iron and all beautifully
Oh yeah,
decorated.
made to last.
I mean,
Plan-
built to last. Yeah.
It's
And
called planned obsolescence. And it was a lot longer. Um, we're talking 70s, 80s, 60s, 50s.
yeah.
Things were made to last a lot longer than things are made to last by design, planned
Right.
obsolescence. So you're planning on when this stuff is going to be obsolete. Same thing with your phone, right? A year.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Someone's texting me right now. Tracy, stop it.
Was it?
Donate your excess jewelry to a cause you care about. Free yourself. Yeah, I've actually donated some of that stuff back to the thrift stores to resell. Um, and most of the thrift stores that I go to are affiliated with some, children's hospital or the the veterans.
Yeah,
There's
we have different ones here for homeless and
yeah,
different things like that
there's the
too.
Cancer Society. Yeah, so I do. Um, yeah, I do get rid of some of it that way. But then, yeah, I do have actually a couple of people who like to buy. I had 3 people buying my totes. So, um, yeah, I don't have a problem getting rid of it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't if I put something out there. I just, like I said, it can be hard sometimes because I work full time.
Yeah, yeah, you don't
So
have to worry about that anymore.
it's definitely it's hard to resell, do YouTube and have a full-time job. It and then
Yeah,
clean and organize all your stuff as well. It's
yeah,
and be a mom,
yes. I
which
don't know how I don't know how I did anything before with a real job, 9 to 5, It's like I really don't, but I had it all done. Boy, I had it all. I can hardly keep track of my time anymore.
it
I
is
guess that's because there's so
three
much
things,
freedom
Sally.
behind.
Thanks for reminding me.
Uh-oh, what did Sally say? Wasn't it 3 things you have to give? Oh
I only
yeah,
chose one. Yeah, I only picked out one so far because we had talked
yeah.
about it.
Well, I haven't even picked out one yet, but I'm going to let go of 3 of my faves too, because I also have. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jewelry boxes full, as well as over here in this closet, I've got 4 cases that have like 12 trays in each one, and there's some pretty neat stuff in there that I've shown it before, but I've never like
I liked your one that you had kind of showed the things that you keep and you wear. Because I always think it's really interesting because right we all show things and we show our jars, we show things on auction and we show, collection like but I like to see there's a difference between collections, right? Because I have collections that I never wear and then
yeah.
there's collections of your everyday kind of pieces that you grab for because I wear the same wear the same things when I go out.
Me too. And I have one jewelry box. It's a tall one, with all the drawers and the sides. And I mean, my gosh, there's got to be, I'm not even kidding. There's probably 100 necklaces on each side, maybe 75, right? Have I ever worn any of it? No. I have rings in one thing and rings in another, and I never wear all those rings.
No,
And
I
I
don't have
don't
enough
think
fingers.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take this one off. And this is my only size 7.5 fingers. So every ring I own that's a size 7.5 will not fit any of my other fingers. So I maybe I'm going to let go of some of those.
Well,
I,
my thing with that is my finger sizes change even
I
in the day,
mean,
even
oh
in the
yeah,
same day. So when I'll try something on, so like there's some over here that I have that I had tried on before, and I was like, oh, I'll just sell. Actually, this one was one of them. I was like, oh, this doesn't fit. I'll just sell that. Now it fits. Um, I have two that don't fit that I'm like, I should have gotten size before my jeweler closed, but I guess this one fits this finger now, which it hadn't fit before.
well, Carla, I think I noticed like I had bought this big square thing off of Kirsten Red. It's like wood and it's got turquoise and onyx and something else. It's like super cool. It's like a big, huge, chunky thing. It's a size 8, and I wore it well 6 months ago, and I can't even get it over my. I can't get it on now. And so I think it's like winter time,
Yep.
you know, yeah, you're a little smaller, and then in the summertime you swell a
Oh,
little.
I swell up like crazy in the summertime. So, well, this had never fit, and I don't know that if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I don't know that I tried it on this finger. This is my biggest finger, and like the same where you're saying you have one finger that's a specific size, and none of your other fingers are that size.
Yeah, they're
That
all different.
this one's my biggest finger.
Yeah, they're all different. I got 5 and a 5.5, a 7, a 7.5, an 8, an 8.5.
Yeah, so like this hadn't fit before either, like this one. And I was like, oh, it's so pretty. Like this one. And some people wear the midi rings. I don't know how they do that because
I
it's not
can't.
for me.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's not comfortable. It doesn't, it feels like it's going to come off. Like I can't, I've never found one that didn't feel like it was secure, or
And this
that
one
felt like
never
it was.
fit before either, and now this one fits.
Ooh,
So it's
how
like
pretty is that?
I seem to go up and down and I never really know what's gonna fit, what's not. So I keep a couple of different sizes.
Yeah.
This one's probably never gonna fit. Let me see, because it's pretty big. Yeah, but it's so
Lori,
cool. So I have a
Lori
hard
says
time.
she's proud of us. Ooh, that's pretty.
It's a moonstone with like a ruby in the center, and so
That's
it's just
beautiful.
like it's hard sometimes to let things go.
Hi, Emily. She's addicted to jewelry too. Yeah.
Welcome, Emily.
You
So
know,
I don't know. I'm trying. It's hard. It's it can be really hard sometimes.
yeah, it is. It's a struggle. The struggle is really real. I mean, another struggle that I have is anxiety, social anxiety sometimes. I'm not a shy person, but um, I guess after, I've struggled with depression and things, and it's like sometimes I will get completely ready to go somewhere, and I'll like get in my car, and as I'm driving away from the house, I start getting this overwhelming sense of anxiety. And
Mm.
sometimes I'll just drive right around the corner and come right back in to the driveway and just come inside because I don't know where that stems from, but do you have that sort of thing too, where you struggle with that kind of thing sometimes?
The only thing that's like that sometimes is rummage sales.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, with the
rummage
people.
sales give me the most anxiety of any place I've ever been because, yeah, it's like you're in a line and the people run for it. They'll box you out so you can't get to anything.
Oh yeah,
Grabby. And then it's like you've been waiting sometimes for an hour, and if you're not first or second or third in line, you might not find anything at all, or have access, and it gives me the most anxiety.
yeah. Adele says she stays home and lists, disconnects from the fear of losing out. Well, that's really nice, Adele. Um, I I sometimes do. I know how to turn it off sometimes if I just focus on something else. But sometimes I let that little thing, that little butterfly in my stomach take over. It's like this little monster on your back, just like go, you gotta go, you gotta go, and it's like I don't
What
want to.
hoping
You
to
need
maybe
to.
happen that could maybe happen, because like I said, I don't just do YouTube. I have an Etsy as well that
Yeah.
I haven't fed in a very long time. I need to. I have a Poshmark and a Mercari as well.
Oh wow.
And I'm hoping to get addicted to selling as well, because
Yeah.
it's the same thing, right? Like you sell something and it's like, oh, I just made money, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
I'm hoping to turn that addiction to finding that thing, that one thing, that, gold bracelet or, whatever, and to look at my bank account grow because I've just sold
Yeah.
a whole bunch of jewelry, you know.
Yeah. And, my mother has always told me if you do what you love, the money will follow. And if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I've just kind of stood by that my whole life and believed in that. And I really feel like I've achieved that now. And I do love this with a passion. I mean, I love jewelry. I love jewelry. And now I'm loving YouTube just as much as I love jewelry and all the people here, in this community. It's so much. It's awesome. It's so much fun.
That's fun, Jane. She says she tends not to buy on other sites, just YouTube live sales in her glass of wine. I do. I like the live sales too because number one, you're supporting small businesses. And people
Yes.
forget
Yeah,
that sometimes, but basically we're all small businesses.
that's
Um,
right.
and you also have a little bit of that more personal collection. And we have some, like regionally, I've noticed we have different things. So, like
Yeah,
when you watch different people's sales, they have different types of things, or like what you can be attracted to what you know. So, or what you like personally. So,
yeah,
what you might have might be totally different than what you have. That's totally different than what I have because of what we're attracted to. So that's kind of fun too, I think.
yeah.
I think we all sell things that we like and that we would buy and we would wear ourselves too. So obviously you get a little bit of that style in there. What
Okay,
about
now
weird?
go
I don't I because I love it and it makes me happy. I
Yeah,
just want to
right. No,
moderation,
Sue.
right? Everything in moderation is what I want. I just and or a way to organize it. And
Yeah,
mostly, like I said, for me, I think I have different issues than other people do because of in you too, right? But you found somebody to buy all those totes because I buy it in bulk and you have to
yeah,
search through things. So then you
right.
end up with all of this stuff that
Excess.
not
Well,
the stuff that I would bring to the auctions, right?
Well, then do craft lots or mystery boxes. That's another thing that I do sometimes. When I see it piling up like this, and it's not junk, a lot of it is wearable, resellable, but it's stuff that I don't want to do this all day long, on each of these little tiny things. So I'll fill up these little flat rate boxes, small flat rate boxes for whatever. And I think a couple times I've done just craft lots because there is going to be broken. Doesn't mean it's all broken, but might be missing a stone. But there's other people that want that stuff too, Carla. So um, there's a lot of people here that might want some. Hi, Jason. Hi.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We definitely we've all connected and we all love it, love jewelry. And so I
Yeah.
certainly am not saying or thinking that it's bad to have a lot of it
Oh,
because I
it's not a
do.
bad addiction. It's
It's more like I said, the anxiety of not going out, right?
yes,
The anxiety of not being able to thrift, the anxiety of, you know, I'm working so I can't do something, the anxiety of not being or
there's your man back there. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi.
of not being organized,
Yeah,
and just that kind of thing where it's the space. So
yeah,
it's like a mental thing because of the space.
yeah,
Um, but like somebody else said, I do also, which you probably do too. I do love shopping in my collection. So sometimes I'll put something to sell and I fall in love with it again, and so I'll take it out. Um, because I have so much other stuff to sell anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter. So just
yeah,
sell something else, and then eventually like I'll put it in again.
yeah.
Yeah,
Deborah says, life is short. We deserve to feel good and look good. And jewelry helps us do that. Oh,
yeah, you have like a zoo over there, Tanya.
I do. I rescue animals.
But no, it does. It makes me, and especially depending on what you're wearing, right? Like vintage jewelry can make you feel so feminine and delicate,
Yeah.
where some of the strong, like brutalist jewelry can make you feel cool and tough, right?
Give me one sec. Someone's at my door. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll be right back, everyone. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I only have one Jimmy, but he's enough. But yeah, I love that too, and it really also completes an outfit. So there's definitely a lot of amazing things from from wearing it. So if you guys leave here, I don't want you to leave here with that. We both love jewelry, and we both collect it, and we love wearing it, and we love
Jewelry is jewelry's the best addiction to have. If you're gonna have an addiction, jewelry's the one to have, I say. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
But I think the other thing is too, I guess, is one thing we can do for each other, and Tanya, I am completely willing to do this for you too, is, when you're feeling that way, to reach out to each other. And like, if you're not feeling good on a day and you can't go out and you're getting that anxiety because you can't go out, to have somebody else there that understands it and is like, I get it, that sucks, I can't go out today either. Or, well, why don't you list something? Or, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of being there for each other, because we do understand that is nice, because we all understand each other. Yeah,
Yes.
I love the
Yeah.
art pieces.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because there's a few other people I talk to out here in this bunch of jewelry addicts that it's like everyone kind of is in this whole mindset. It's like the struggle is real. The fear of missing out, the thrill of the hunt. I think Mishka or someone had said it's the thrill of the hunt that is what they crave the most. And I love that too. You know, it's just the thrill of it,
Yeah,
because you never know.
it's a
You never
high.
know.
It's a
It is
it's
a high.
a
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, like I can't wait for Saturday. Huge terrace block sale. I mean, it's like there's two huge ones here annual. They have the Huntington Boulevard one and the terrace block sale. And I mean, porta potties and food vendors. It's a huge event. You know,
that
I
sounds
can't wait.
that
I
sounds
will
like
be there.
well, and I'll go too. I will just tell myself, if you don't find anything, that's fine.
Yeah,
Or if you just find one good thing, that's all, like, you're fine. So as long as, if I'll go out, and I did that last time, I mean, I found some little things, but I found one nice thing, and I was like, okay, that's like anything else that we find is fine. I found one thing and it made it worth
yeah,
it.
yeah. Everything else is gravy, right?
Yeah.
If or yeah. I do want to mention Kirsten Red Resell is going on live at 6 o'clock, just so you guys know. Um,
6 o'clock, but what time zone? Pacific?
yeah, Pacific Standard Time. So in like 15 minutes, she goes on.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's 8:45 here.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Lizzie says she loves the gravy. I love the gravy too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. So it like I said, mostly for me, it's just the fear of missing out,
right?
the organization and not having too much stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, you gotta let go of some of that hoard there, Carla.
and it feels good sometimes to do that.
Yes. Do you ever cleanse your closet and go through your clothes that because that
And
was
that's
another
what I
thing
did
that,
over here too. Like, I have all my clothes, but my vintage clothes or my special clothes that I love, but I
yeah.
can't fit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the vintage clothes is tiny.
Yeah. Well
But
then, yeah.
it's not something that I know that I'm never gonna wear. So it's like, what am I doing keeping this?
Who, Tanya? Who? Hi, Lori, who, Tanya?
Mike, you'll have to send me a picture. Now I want to know. Mike has the coolest stuff. But
Ooh,
anyway, so I think Tanya, I really like Tanya. I started watching her videos, and I love your attitude. You're always so positive,
thank you, Carla.
and you're very
Well,
creative,
thank you.
and I
Yeah,
love that. I love your creativity.
I appreciate
And
it.
I love your relationship with your daughter. It's so sweet. It's so nice seeing that too, because I'm a mom that has a daughter too. So
Yeah,
that
we can bicker. We
well,
can bicker, but yeah, she's my best friend. She really is. Yeah,
my daughter is not well, my husband too. So it's just basically the three of us. Are
yeah,
all very good friends and love each other very much. So, and he deals with all of this craziness, like not having a table. I don't know how he does it because he's a very organized person and very like clean and on
yeah,
time. So that's the other, I guess, source of my anxiety is that I feel bad and guilty that my house is so unorganized.
yeah. I do the same. I have to admit, and yeah, I let it get a little bit out of control there for a minute when, yeah, I think I've discussed it before, like last June, when my mom was still living here with me. Watching her in such pain and being in bed all the time, it kind of brought me down too. And it's like I just wanted to get out of the house every day, and I did. Besides working, I would just go to all the thrift stores, and I was hoarding things, but they were cool things like, little knickknacks that I could resell later on, because I enjoy that kind of stuff. I used to go out to the swap meet once in a while and just set up, do a pop-up tent with, like 20-foot, two 6-footers and two 4-foot tables, and boom. And I'd make a killing like that, just in like 4 or 5 hours and get out. And I'm like, yeah, that was good. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work though. I'm liking this jewelry stuff a lot better.
Before we leave,
Uh-huh.
Micah brought something up, and I find it an interesting question. Have you ever sold anything that you regret?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
what what have you sold that you regret?
What haven't I sold that I have regretted? Um, well, one was it was a beautiful ring that I had found. I had gone to this one yard sale, and as I was leaving, kind of had to go around the corner to get to the main street again. And there just happened to be another block or another yard sale right there on that street. So I pulled up and I asked the gal if she had any jewelry, and she went and grabbed this little box of jewelry. She said this was all my mother-in-law's old stuff, and she sold me the whole box for $20. And there was an 18 karat gold ring in there. It was like a size 5.5 because it fit my pinky, and it had a 1.33 carat diamond in the center, and then it was surrounded by diamonds, like quarter carat size diamonds around it. And I sold it. I sold it for $1,500. I think I could have got a lot more, had I held out. But yeah, I always, like, the guy offered me 7, and I went around to a few places, and then I finally got an offer of 15, and I said okay. But it's one of those things. Had I sold on eBay or some other platform, I could have gotten a lot more money for it.
But also I worry because there are scammers and things out there too
Oh
that say,
yeah.
this isn't real, and that stuff. But I think if you sell, do they do that on eBay where they authenticate stuff before they send it?
Well,
If
I
you
hear there's some new thing now where they kind of guarantee it, or I don't know. I don't sell on, I've never sold on eBay, but I just kind of listen on, watch videos of people that do. And I think there's some sort of new thing that you don't get paid until they actually receive the item. And it's like,
Mm,
I don't know. And
interesting.
there's some sort of a proof to the fact that they have gotten it, like, or you go through, I don't know, Carla, you asked me that. I'm like, I have no idea how that works because I've never tried it, but
Jane,
something along.
I've never actually been scammed before. So I know people who have, and it's just like on eBay. It's not anyone. And a lot of times I think anything that I've heard wasn't jewelry or anything like that. Um, Nobody has ever scammed me on anywhere else. People are always usually pretty lovely, actually.
Yeah. I have shared like if someone's a non-payer, I've talked to a couple other people and we're like, oh, watch for that person because they don't pay.
See, and I guess I don't really care. I just end up like, I'll just sell
Yeah,
it in next time.
it's not that big a deal anymore when it's just like one or two little items. But at first I mean, if it's a couple $100, then I'm like, you
And
know,
I get it. It's not fair because other people could have gotten it. So that's the only
yeah,
thing.
right.
But again, I'll just like I'll just sell it again on a different night.
Yeah, yeah, like no big deal, huh?
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
I don't things like that don't bother me because I usually figure there's a reason or something's
Yeah, and you never know circumstances. You just never know what may have happened on the other end too, you
because I
know.
just get to keep things anyway, so I don't it
Yeah,
doesn't bother
it
me.
happened to me last Sunday. It happened to me last Sunday. They never bothered to email, and I was like, "That's okay. I didn't want to sell the item anyway, not for the price that I had sold it for. So I still have it. I'm cool with that." Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. So obviously Tanya and I could probably talk forever. We definitely have chemistry and like each other and talking to each other, which is wonderful. So I'm sure we'll do this again. I know
yeah,
Tanya and I have talked and we are both not the most organized or scheduled of people. So if and when we do, it'll probably be just random.
it's rando. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is actually a Pyrex. I collect Pyrex as well, so it was like a Pyrex pattern, Princess
I remember
Casserole.
you said that before. I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, Princess Casserole.
Yeah, so like that's another of my loves is vintage Pyrex. I
Yeah.
have a video about it. I think I when we went to Corning, New York, which is where they
Oh,
invented
that's
Pyrex.
cool.
Yeah. So we're
Cool.
not super duper far from that. So once we are off, though, if you guys have any questions for us that you want us to ask, I mean, I'm mostly an open book. There's, like I said, when you guys are asking about the finances and things, that's fine. Um, so
Lizzie said, do it again.
yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any other questions, I'll leave them in the comments or because if you put them in chat, we might not have seen them. So it's
Yeah.
easier to put it in the comments after this gets posted. And we'll be happy to answer them for you guys. Any parting words, Miss Tanya?
No, just be good, y'all. Be good to yourselves. Don't beat yourself up over your little jewelry hoarding problem. It's okay. Just if um if it starts getting out of control, try to let go of some, you know. There's plenty of people around that'll buy some of your hoard, I promise you, because when I tried to sell my jewelry box, I just posted it. One girl came over, she bought the whole thing. Boom, done. And then I made a connection, and that's my friend Kim, who now I'm buying jewelry back from her. It's all, yeah. Don't
It's
beat
like
yourself up.
water, water is a water cycle, like it's not created or destroyed.
Yeah. Bye, Jason. He says it's nice to finally meet you a little more.
Oh, thank you, Jason. That's wonderful. Thank you. All right. Well, we will probably see you guys again. I know both of us will see all of you guys again on our channel. Make sure you check out my jewelry addiction. Like I said, she's got a great channel and always has the coolest stuff. So
Thank you, Carla. I'm glad. Thanks for reaching out to me and asking me to do this with you, because I just think it's a really neat thing that, yeah, jewelry addiction is a great discussion to have. And yeah.
I think so too.
And remember, Kirsten Red Resale is going live right now. For those of you who haven't been there, so I'm going to go over there and say hi. I don't know. Are you, Carla?
Probably.
Are you are you
I
addicted like
sometimes
that?
so if I don't go into your auction, it's probably because I don't want to be tempted that day.
Oh,
Maybe I spent too
yeah,
much money that day or like I
yeah,
did a bunch. So that's usually why, but I do like to come and say hello. So that's why like always say hello. Don't ever feel like you need to buy anything in my auctions.
yeah.
Just come and have fun because that's usually what I do, and that's why I love to do my auctions with Sally because it's like just hanging out with a friend like this is. So, all right, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Pandora and Em and
Yeah,
Sally and
everybody,
Lizzie and
Mike,
everybody.
Lizzie, DeFleur. Bye, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Carla.